What's up, guys? Sean here, coming at y'all with a quick little video. We're going to go over the Knicks victory over the Spurs last night. Obviously, NBA champions, 4-1, gentleman's sweep. Surprised a lot of people. We called it a little bit ago. We're going to break everything down. Lots of stories from the game. De'Aaron Fox, why did they keep playing him? Should they have given Dylan Harper more opportunities? Wemby playing like a guard when he should have been playing like a center. All that and a lot more. But first, if you're new here, please like, please subscribe. I appreciate all your continued support. Thanks for the people coming back. Thanks for the people with the kind words, kind comments. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much. Let's get into the video. Obviously, after game one, I kind of looked at this as a whole, saw the way Jalen Brunson had a terrible game, came back in the fourth quarter, just absolutely willed that team to victory. The first two games, Karl Anthony Towns was a huge part of things, was playing a great part of things, playing great defense, set the tone. He obviously fell off later, had a ton of foul trouble in the last two games. OG Anunoby was quiet early. Bridges had one or two good games, but every single game, Jalen Brunson came out swinging. Just an unbelievable performance. Absolutely deserves finals MVP. I don't think there's going to be anyone that argues this. These guys absolutely deserved it. Every time they got hit in the mouth, went down 10, 12, 20, 22, whatever it was. They just found a way to come back, found a way to win the game. The tip in from OG Anunoby is going to be a highlight reel forever, and as it should. And it was an amazing play, game turning play. It just showed who really wanted it more. I know the Spurs coach came out and said something about we weren't ready to win a championship. I think that's bullshit. I think that's an easy way for him to get out of his own mistakes, the things that he did in this series that didn't make sense. Obviously, Harper has been cooking since game one, and you just didn't give him the time he deserved. Vassell would go from red hot, couldn't miss anything, to couldn't hit a bucket to save his life. And yeah, he's great energy, great defense, but you have to rotate these guys. You have to stick with the guys that are giving you good minutes and good production. And I felt like this game was lost more on coaching and Victor Wembanyama deciding to be a guard instead of being a center. Early in the last game, he racked up like 2, 3, 4 blocks, it felt like, in a couple minutes. Unbelievable presence in the paint. And then at a certain point, he just stopped. He wasn't in the paint. He was getting moved late. Mitchell Robinson bullied him off a free throw attempt and got the rebound. It didn't even look close. And as a coach, as a player, those two just absolutely have to be better. They were 100% ready to win a championship. They just refused to rotate people. They played De'Aaron Fox too long. Keldon Johnson got some run when he really shouldn't have. And I think they went to guys too often when they were ice cold rather than red hot, as they should have. Going down the scoreboard here from the last game, you can obviously see this is the tail of the game right here. We'll give you a little bit of a player by player. Josh Hart absolutely shut me up. I was talking earlier about how they just needed to make him shoot. Didn't really seem like he ever had a bad game. He was never so bad they had to take him off the floor. Amazing defense, rebounding, just doing a little bit of everything. And then here last night, 3 for 6, 2 for 3 from the line, 11 rebounds, plus 15. Just an absolute presence on the floor in any way, shape, or form he can be. Did exactly what he needed to do. Anunoby had a quiet night, but obviously the huge plays when it mattered the most. 1 for 5, but 4 for 6 from the line, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block, just doing exactly what he had to do. Karl Anthony Towns, it seemed like he was in foul trouble in 5 minutes, and then we never saw him again. He was pretty much off the court, and then he got fouled out at the end, so didn't really have an opportunity, 23 minutes, but it did not feel like he was on the floor for 23 minutes. Obviously, Brunson, your MVP, 45 points, 14 for 27, 4 for 7, 13 of 15 from the line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Brunson absolutely deserves all the praise he's going to get. He took a smaller contract to come to this team to build a winner. This was star versus star, Brunson versus Wemby. It was really just a matter of who was going to be better, who was going to be more consistent. And Brunson absolutely took it to them in every way, shape, or form in every game. This game, especially, you could tell there was no pressure. He knew even if they didn't win this game, they were going to win the next one. Chances were they were going to walk home with this chip. And there was no reason to play scared. He went and he picked his shots and he took everything he wanted, and nobody could stop him. Nobody could do anything about it. Castle gave him a pretty good run a couple times on defense, tried to make his life hell early, but it just didn't matter. Brunson was unbelievable. Mikal Bridges, up and down game to game, but in the end of this series, he absolutely came through, hitting clutch threes when they needed him to, hitting his free throws, just doing a little, well, one of 2 free throws, but doing a little bit of everything, doing everything he can to help this team win. With what they gave up for him, You'd like to see him do more, but they just won a championship, so I don't think anyone's going to complain about that. And throughout the season, he's an Iron Man. He doesn't miss games. He's just so consistent night in and night out. Yeah, he has his cold stretches. Everybody does, but you couldn't really ask for much more from him. Shamit didn't have a good game. Clarkson didn't really have a good game. Alvarado didn't have a good game. It was really up to Brunson. I think Mitchell Robinson's the one worth shouting out here. 10 rebounds, +5. They didn't even try to hack him to really like take him to the free throw line. It just another thing with Spurs coaching. It just felt like they didn't do enough. The coaches weren't attentive enough. And Mitchell Robinson was huge in this game. This is probably one of the better games of his career. I'm not going to say the best. I mean, he was an unbelievable presence. And the more comfortable he got playing against Wemby, the more you seen that he knew he was stronger and he was going to get what he wanted. So great job just boxing out, rebounding, just doing everything he could to help this team win. On the Spurs side of things, Vassell again, 2 for 5 from three, 7 rebounds. It wasn't a good night for him, 5 from 8, but it didn't seem like he was comfortable all night. Champagny kind of evened out as the game went on. He was pretty consistent, but he was missing early. It felt like Wemby didn't even put up 20 points, had 14 rebounds. A lot of those were jump ups, jump ups, jump ups, second chance, third chance. So, it looks like more than it is. 5 blocks. Obviously, most of those were in the first quarter, and then not much outside of that, which was really a shame because you thought that was going to be how the game really went. It faded away with time. Stephon Castle, 1 for 10. De'Aaron Fox, 3 for 15. Carter Bryant didn't even put up a shot. Dylan Harper, 10 for 19, 25 points, the best player for the Spurs over most of this series, just did not get the run that he should have got. I see other guys with 39, 38, 37 minutes, and he's down here with 31. He should have played so much more than he did. Keldon Johnson actually had a pretty good run in this game, but then you didn't really see much of him outside of that. And Cornette was just he was never really going to have a chance. That second unit was always going to lose out to the Knicks with him on the floor. He's a solid backup, but in a series like this, you need better out of your guys. So unbelievable. I'm really surprised the Spurs went in 5. I really thought this was going to go to 6 or 7. I had called, if I remember correctly, I think I called Spurs in 7. Probably not right about that, but the Knicks deserve this. They wanted it more. They came in, they fought hard. It was one of the best series I've ever watched, even though it only went 5 games. I know a lot of people are going to talk about that, but the Knicks were just unbelievable. Coming back from the deficits they did, again, they absolutely earned this. I loved it, loved watching it, loved covering it, gave me a brand new respect for the Knicks coaching staff, the organization, the players. Next year, obviously, we'll go back to being rivals. I'll talk shit and I'll hate them again. But, after all the time since their last championship, it's good to see a team that hasn't won in a while win something. So good for them. This was amazing. It was awesome to cover it. It was awesome to live stream it with you guys. I appreciate everyone who came through, all the viewers, all the new subscribers from stuff like this. If you like it, continue to tell me that. Let me know you want to see more. Watch the videos, like the videos. That's pretty much it for me, guys. I'll catch y'all in the next one.